So how is it that as the tools got better, as it got easier and easier to find products, it almost seems like Amazon product research got more difficult and it got harder and harder to find a product? Why is that? Well, it's because you're putting in repetitions in the wrong area. Instead of spending all your time looking at product ideas, looking for product ideas, thinking that the best product idea wins, and if I can just do product research long enough, eventually the data will scream out to me some amazing product to sell and I'll be rich. Guilty. After I did that about 17 times, I eventually realized that that was never going to work, and I had to either give up or, entrepreneur's favorite word, pivot. I had to pivot, and that's when I started brand building. And so I want to give you some very pointed advice. I'll think of this in the lens of I'm giving myself advice. Don't take anything I say too seriously. I'm just talking through my experiences here on this channel, but this helped me a lot, so hopefully it helps you. And the repetitions that I referred to you putting in wrong are looking at ideas and comparing them to market average criteria. What I mean by that is, if I were to do, let's open up a bunch of these, right? Let's go, that one could work, this one could work. At this point, let me zoom out a little bit. It almost doesn't matter for the sake of this comparison. So let's start here. Specialty pet odor eliminator. So it's an odor eliminator candle. And now if I was looking at this product, this is kind of a bad one because there's a bunch of different variations. Let's go here. So if I'm looking at this product, it looks like a classic private label product. And what I mean by that is that, it's currently saying they're selling about 23,000 units per month, $31. And as a private label seller, where you might be coming at this from, I would be thinking about this in terms of like, what are their reviews? What are their sales? What do their reviews say? What am I going to change to make it better? I'm stuck in this world of analysis paralysis where I just keep thinking about the market as it is. And let me show you the really dangerous problem with that and why Amazon FBA product research is so hard and why you can't find something, or at least you can't commit to something. In fact, you can find things, you find them all the time, but it just never fully evolves, right? You never start selling. Maybe you do and then you got scared, right? And so this is the secret right here. Instead of doing repetitions and looking at ideas, instead of mindlessly, zombily scrolling through lists of ideas, spend your repetitions thinking about how you're going to value innovate in markets. So I recently finished a book called Blue Ocean Strategy. And though I kind of read this after I started my brand, it put into words what I was thinking and doing without knowing it, at least through this lens. And so there's a principle called value innovation. And let me just start by saying this. Value to buyers comes from the product's utility minus its price. Okay, so it's going to do this for me, but I have to pay that. What's left over in the middle is value, right? That was very valuable, right? It did something amazing for me and I didn't have to give up that much money. Or, I have buyer's remorse. That wasn't very valuable at all. In fact, I probably could have done a better job without this product and I had to pay for it. Now, value to your company is generated by the product's price minus its cost to deliver that thing. So again, in the middle is where you're making your money. So what did they pay you and what did you have to pay to provide that value? And so in both cases, the customer's gaining value because of the utility, the thing you're solving for them minus its price. You're gaining value in terms of what the customer paid you minus what you paid for it. So wouldn't it make sense that any market could work if we just got that ratio right? If the customer thought the thing was valuable, highly valuable because of the gap between those two variables, and we made money off of that customer consistently because we paid a small enough price for the thing that we were able to sell as a valuable offer to the customer. Cost savings to you, what you have to pay to deliver the offer, are made by eliminating and reducing factors that the industry currently competes on. And here's a great example of that. This kit right here is $21.99. They're selling a very large board with all of these accessory items included. And so the critical flaw that they're making, or that you would be making and thinking you should operate in this way, is that I'm going to add more things in. And I got in trouble doing this too, where I got in a race of I'm adding more. I'm going to compete on what the industry is competing on, and I'm going to do a bunch of it, and I'm going to have the best, biggest bundle for the cheapest price. And that is flawed. And here's why. Everyone's competing on the standard ways of operating in the industry. Okay. So the features and things that we're constantly seeing changed here are being changed by people who are copying each other. So it's like this weird infinite loop that you get stuck in. And so if you enter that loop and you're not selling something that is value innovated, you're just competing on existing market values, you may sit on the top of the throne for a little while if you have the best thing that the industry is currently competing on. But because the industry is competing on those things, you will inevitably get knocked down and someone else will do more for less. And so buyer value is actually lifted by innovating and or adding things to the market that the industry has never offered. So let's do a thought experiment. I'm going to leave this open-ended. And this might be a little bit of a tough product to do it with, but I want you to take this seriously. Take this like an assignment, like you're in part of my Savage Circle Mastermind and I was giving this to you as an assignment. If you're serious about this, what is one thing we can do here? What's one thing that we can add that would lift value to customer by competing on a variable that the market currently does not compete on? Okay. What are elements that we can add to this product that the industry isn't paying attention to? And to figure that out, there's a little bit of a cheat sheet. The opposite of what most people are saying, go look at the bad reviews, fix that, there's your perfect product. No, actually, the few people who got bad deliveries got a dud product, and you're going to remap your entire innovation of your product based on that, based on the 20 reviews out of 5,000. Why don't we go with the 80% of reviews, the 3,500 people who left reviews on this product, and figure out what they're saying, the 5 stars, the 4 stars. What is it that every customer agrees should be a part of this product? And then in what area did the industry, aka the current competitive landscape, the listings that currently exist, what did they over-innovate? What did they add that didn't need to be there? Because there's our cost savings, right? If we know the customer only wants to pay so much, then we have to lower our cost to be profitable, inevitably. But we also want to raise our value. So we get into this seesaw here, and we have to figure out how to make this thing balance. And that's where the money is actually going to be made. So when you do balance that out, so you have an effective cost to price ratio, and then you also have an effective price to value ratio. That's how you can make a successful e-commerce business. But you have to stop putting in repetitions on mindlessly looking at products and going, does this have 12,000 sales? Does this have 75 reviews? You're not building any skills doing that. And I wasn't building any skills doing that either. And that's why inevitably I kept getting dethroned, right? I would get a product to sell and I would get crushed by someone else who did more for less. And you have to break out of that cycle by selling a product that doesn't compete with the industry. It creates a new, uncontested market space that solves the problems of the customers in this market in a new, more valuable way. So start putting your reps into every product you find, thinking about how you would increase the value and decrease the cost, because we need to make profit on our products. We cannot just sell products, make a bunch of sales, and compete on existing factors in a red ocean and hope that maybe if we do it enough times, it'll work. Yeah, maybe, but you have to, it's not, the juice isn't worth the squeeze. Okay, so that's my quick lesson for today. I got to get back to work. Thank you so much for being here. You can watch another video from me right here and subscribe if you're new. But other than that, I'll see you in the next video. Later.